Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. It's been a while. Um, Obviously I think it's been good to take the last couple of weeks off in terms of the break. Um, a lot has happened in the footballing side of things, of course, but um, I feel like Real Madrid have been very quiet. We have talked about Dean Huijsen, we've talked about Trent, and obviously um, Franco Mastantuono will be coming in as well, and apparently his presentation will be this upcoming Thursday. So there's that to look forward to. But where is the, you know, key signings? Now I'm not saying that Dean Huijsen and Trent and Mastantuono aren't signings that we need. Obviously, I think Huijsen is the one that we need the most, and I think the other two, you could argue that not so much, right? Although I think Trent is a key player as well. But I just think that where is the midfield signing? Like, we have been talking about this for ages now, and I highly doubt Real Madrid will make the signing now. Like, maybe Florentino Perez and Real Madrid might shock some people and make the signing, but we have desperately needed a Vitinha type of player, uh, an Angelo Stiller, you know, that sort of a profile of a player. And we're going into another big season. We're going to play another 50, 60 games. And to not have a single midfielder of those qualities and having like a player that possesses those traits concerns me a lot. And I think it might actually concern Real Madrid fans in general. I think it's a big problem that Real Madrid find themselves in. And yeah, I'm just thinking, okay, we are a week away from the season starting, which is kind of crazy. Pre-season, there hasn't really been any this season because obviously the Club World Cup was technically the pre-season. Real Madrid have organized some friendly games that don't really mean a lot, but obviously it helps when you're doing those training sessions and then you go out there, you play a game against Leganes or Tirol that we will be doing this upcoming Tuesday, I believe. It helps, right? You get your body back into that rhythm, and you're sort of not 100% there yet in terms of the fitness, the match fitness, shall we say, but it gets you back, right? And obviously, missing out on the start is going to be quite hurtful. Undoubtedly, it will affect the likes of Jude Bellingham, because he won't be fit until what, September, October maybe. So, but I think Jude Bellingham is such a good player that he has already had a month with Xabi Alonso, and he will still be doing the rehab, right? So I don't think it affects Jude too much. But for any more new signings coming in, if any, having a pre-season slash a couple of weeks to prepare for the new season with your new club, with your new team, is crucial. Now we're heading into the final week of um, the rest, obviously, right before the season starts. Have Real Madrid been linked with anyone of note in the last couple of weeks and even right now? No. So it makes me believe that, okay, Real Madrid are not going to do anything. And that for me is a very key concern. Very key concern if the centre midfield signing is not going to be there. If Real Madrid aren't even going to try and bid for Konate, which might be rejected. Liverpool might really sit on the fence and say, look, we are not going to let him go unless you pay a ludicrous offer. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and keep him for the long term and try to get him to sign the new contract, which he might or he might not, right? Whatever that may be the case, it doesn't really matter. You have to try. And I really don't like this sort of let's wait until they are a free agent and try to convince them. You know, it helps that we have already done many businesses similar to that, but we don't need to build a starting 11 full of free agents. Like, we don't need to do that, right? We need to um, spend when we need to spend. If you are in desperate need of players in certain positions and you really, really can't wait anymore, you can't be sitting there waiting. And I think that is something that Real Madrid need to just realize. Like, the people that are in charge of these decisions need to realize. Last season was shit, and sorry for swearing, but it was. It was probably the worst season in a long, long time. I know those days with Solari, Lopetegui, those were terrible as well, right? But like last season, there wasn't any hope, and this season, will we have any hope? I don't know. Like, do I believe that with what we have right now, it's better than last season? Yes, I think Trent on Vasquez upgrade, Hoyson coming in, upgrade, Masantono joining in. He's gonna be a good player in the future. But do I believe that overall it's gonna be better? It might be marginally better, but I don't think it's gonna be significant enough to push for La Liga. Like, Barcelona are still the team to beat in La Liga. PSG are still the team to beat in Europe. You've got Chelsea who beat PSG. They, like, if they're on their day can beat PSG, I believe that they are a team that we have to look out for. Liverpool are going to be there. Arsenal, they are the sort of laughing stock of football, right? But they beat Real Madrid in the Champions League last season. Bayern Munich, you never know what you're going to get from Bayern Munich. I thought in the Club World Cup, they really gave, like, PSG a real tough fight. Did Real Madrid do that? No. We got humiliated 4-0. And that was probably one of the worst games we have seen in a long time as well. And we have seen many of those worst games last season alone. Like, think of the amount of humiliations that Real Madrid have witnessed in the last 10 years. And how many of them can you name from last season alone? Like, it's crazy. So, what I'm trying to say here is that Real Madrid, we know what we're going through. We know where the issues are, and the only way things are going to change is if the club reacts and make those changes in the transfer market. But so far, I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. So, look, I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm not trying to be, negative. I want the best for Real Madrid. As a Real Madrid fan, I want to watch this team win everything possible, succeed, play good football, and start out something new under Xabi Alonso. Because we know he's a good coach. We know he's a very good coach, and he's a Real Madrid legend, and we want him to succeed. But if he doesn't get the backing in the certain areas that he's still lacking, no pun intended, then, like, what are we expecting? Like, he's gonna be thrown under the bus, and I think that is something that will happen regardless whether we want it to, right? But anyways, that short little opening aside, let's just talk about something else, right? Let the transfers unfold if they're gonna unfold. If not, the season starts and the season starts. But let's talk about more positive sides, right? The Real Madrid third kit is out. Now, I have the Real Madrid, was it away kit? The dark blue with the orange stripes from the 21-22 season. I don't have a single Real Madrid home kit, and I'll tell you why. First of all, kits over here are very expensive. Like, we're talking $150. Like, come on. I get it. Like, there are, things that people really, really like, and obviously the manufacturing, the creation, and things like that are costly, but come on. And I just think that the Real Madrid home kit, every year, because it's just white and it's very similar looking. I know the designs are different, and sometimes the colors, like the stripe colors, are different. We have had the gold last season, we had the black stripes. This season is pretty much the same thing. We've had the light blue before. Yeah, so the home kits, apart from maybe the stripe colors, have always been the same, right? So I usually tend to get the away and third kits, and I have one, like, you know, um, last season's kits, like, I really like the grey one that we had last season. I didn't really like the orange one as much, to be honest, and that's just me, I think. But I like the grey one the most. This season, I think this blue one is quite nice. I would still say that I like the black slash grey. I don't really know what color it is, slash like dark blue. I think it might be dark blue slash black. I don't think it's grey. I think it might be dark blue actually. The one that we played against Salzburg in, right? That might be my favorite this season. But I don't mind this either, as well. This bluish, I mean it's a blue one, but this sort of more bluish one compared to the dark blue slash black one. Um, but yeah, I think in general the Real Madrid kits, the home kits tend to be very similar, which is why I don't really buy them. But maybe I will get one of the away or third kit, really. But Mbappe's kit number, Bellingham's kit number, there is Mbappe, Bellingham, and Vinny Jr. in the third kit. It is cold. Hopefully, their performances are gonna be as cold as this picture. We'll get on to that in just a while, actually. And then this is David Alaba in the third kit as well. Apparently, David Alaba has told Real Madrid that he wants to stay and at least, run out his contract. Not run out, but stay until his contract is out, basically. So we'll see. We'll see. What Alaba could bring. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about him because there's something else I want to talk about in a bit. And then here is Bellingham, Courtois, Rudiger. I think that's Athena, if I'm not wrong. Over there, and then that might be Fella, the French striker from the Real Madrid female team, if I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. Yeah, and then there's I think that's Linda Caicedo. That's Bellingham, Brahim, and I think that's Athena again. And then this is a collection in general. So again, Courtois, Alaba, Bellingham, Caicedo. Militao's in the bottom left here with Bellingham. The same pick there as well. So it's pretty much the same. It does look quite nice. I gotta admit, that's a very nice kit. And yeah, the difference for this season is obviously there is this gold that's just quite lines at the side compared to last season. It's not bad. It looks nice, but overall it's very similar. Like, I like this. Yeah, this dark blue one. It does look kind of like, it does look black because in the rain I think it might have been. But I like this the most. Then I would say this and then this one. But they look very nice. I think Adidas never like fails in their like brilliant kits. Like their kits are so good, man. I might get my hand on this as like a gift for myself. But yeah, it looks very nice actually. But moving on from the third kit, Real Madrid played an indoor game, shall we say, like a little friendly that no cameras were in there, no media like were in there. I'm sure journalists were in there, and there were people watching and spectating like how the team was playing, but it wasn't being broadcasted or anything. Real Madrid won 4-1. You can see some of the players running, working hard. Apparently this is the starting 11, so Courtois, Carvajal, Asensio, Huijsen, Alvaro Carreras, Fede Valverde, Ceballos, Brahim, Vinicius, Gonzalo, and Mbappe. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Alvaro Carreras at the start of the video. Yeah, I think he will be an incredible addition as well. I think we should take this starting 11 with a pinch of salt. I don't think that will be how necessarily Xabi Alonso will line out in the season. Like Brahim in the midfield, I think will be very unbalanced for the midfield in general. Would he go with a front three? Would he start all these three? He did that against PSG and he admitted that it backfired. So I don't think he will go with a front three, at least not a front three that consists of these three, right? I think we know and we probably expect that Vinny Jr. and Mbappe will still be the same. Like, I don't think they will press as much. as we would like them to. I don't think they will do much defensive work as we would like them to. So then, unfortunately for Gonzalo Garcia, he's just a sitting duck, really. So you kind of need another man in the midfield, but we'll get on to that as well. But this is from Kiko Martin, Javier Martin, obviously a journalist there for AS. Oh yeah, I don't know why this is here, but this is Zinedine Zidane in the third kit. A bit random that is there. And then this was apparently the goal scorer. So Brahim, Hoyson, Militao, and Pitash, who is a young academy midfielder. I don't know a lot about him. I'm not gonna claim I do, but yeah. Militao's goal was incredible, by the way. He scored from like basically our own box, almost, right? Basically, from one box to the other. Crazy. Got to question the keeper for Leganes, like the positioning. But 4-1 win for Real Madrid. Take these games with a pinch of salt. It's Leganes, no disrespect, but it's a friendly. Now, in the game, like I said, wanted to talk a little bit about David Alaba. Xabi Alonso tried Alaba as a center midfielder against Leganes. Okay, this is coming in from Rodra of ESPN. I'm not sure about this, but we know with his passing abilities, I'm not sure about the controlling of the game type of a player, but his passing abilities is very good, of course. David Alaba. His main concern, I think defensively, I just don't see him as a centre back. Left back has always been his position, but he's not gonna play there. Midfield might be a good position, but I don't know if he's gonna be the right profile that we need. But it's worth a shot. Who knows? He might be a rejuvenated player that is hungry, and if he stays fit, could be a good option. But I would rather we go for Vitinha and Stiller, obviously. Like, why are we settling to use players that probably shouldn't even be at the club at this point? Right? Xabi Alonso gave minutes to everyone in today's friendly except the injured Bellingham, Mendy, and Endrick. This is Melchor Ruiz with that information. And then Alaba started in midfield. Rodrigo was captain in the second half. That is quite interesting, actually. This is coming in from Miguel Angel Diaz. That is quite interesting. And then, is there any more? Right. We'll get on to that in just a second. But yeah, Rodrigo obviously being the captain, probably a bit of like security and entrusting the faith in him a little bit. I don't know, but that is just how I feel with it. We still don't know what's gonna happen with Rodrigo. He probably will stay now. Especially when you look at it, it's nearly the second week of August, basically. My birthday's in a few days, actually. But anyways, yeah. The season starts in a week, so if an Arsenal or a Liverpool want him, their season starts in a week too, right? And Liverpool already played the Community Shield yesterday, so yeah, season starting already, man. So is it a little bit too late to sell Rodrigo? I don't know. And then finally, I believe we've got some updates as well in terms of the kit number. So Endrick got the number 9. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I thought it would be young Gonzalo. It isn't. It's Endrick. He's getting number 9. That is cool. Let's put some respect on Endrick's name. Obviously, he didn't have the stunning first season that people expected, but he had a good season considering the numbers that he put up in the number of game time he had. So be patient. Let's hope he stays fit. Let's hope that he improves physically, because that is a side of his game that he is weak in, the physical aspect. And could he cook under Xabi Alonso? He might be able to, but it's a bit too early to say just yet. But Endrick is clearly being given the trust and faith. And the number 9, right? And then with that, Gonzalo Garcia is given the number 16. Obviously, the La Liga kit number rules, players that have been 1 to 25, unless they are mainly registered to the Castilla. I think young Gonzalo will be mainly part of the first team now. So I think number 16, he will be part of the first team for basically the whole season. only fair and only right. Expected 9, but 16 isn't too bad either, I guess. And then, yeah, finally, a bit of news here. Kamavinga will be out for 10 days. I think he suffered like an ankle injury or something. I'm not sure. But he would miss the friendly game against Tyrol, and he'll also miss the opener against, I think, Osasuna, right? We're playing Osasuna first. Yeah, he'll miss the opener of La Liga, but I think he'll be back afterwards. So, yeah, this is from Arantxa Mobile. Arantxa Rodriguez, a very reliable source, of course. So yeah, not as bad as expected. 10 days isn't great, 1.5 week, but yeah. Kamavinga, I think. Look, for Kamavinga, most importantly as well is for him to stay fit. He's in that group with Alaba, with Militao. I'm thinking. Who else? Like, there are some players in there. Mendy, Endrick, like these players need to stay fit to think about having a constant starting place in the team. And they need to prove that they can stay fit. So something needs to change, right? Not just Kamavinga, but like I said, the others that I mentioned. They need to start taking care of themselves. But anyways, let me know what thoughts are down below on everything I've spoken. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the notification, subscribe to the channel on already. By the way, I am still streaming on Twitch quite regularly, so link will be in the description. Come and check me out. But I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.